Alright, hello guys, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering arena draft video. Today we will be doing more Ikoria Lair of Behemoths. I know I uploaded like 3 videos for the cycling decks already. All 3 of them had Zenith Flare, I think. And I'm just hoping that I end up drafting something else besides the red-white cycling deck. Sometimes the bots are generous enough to give us some alternate options besides the cycling deck, and I hope this draft provides something else, since this format is actually pretty deep beyond the red-white cycling deck and Zenith Flare. So let's try to roll the dice and get a nice draft video going for another archetype that we can study. So let's begin. And pack one, pick one. Well, that's a nice gift. General Kudro of Dranith. Definitely a very powerful card. Yeah, I mean, General Kudro, exile target card from opponent's graveyard, sacrifice 2 humans. Yeah, this card is very strong. Of course, you can only play this in the black-white humans deck, but definitely very powerful and a powerful first pick. Don't mind trying to force the black-white humans deck. Otherwise, what else is there in this pack? There is Blood Curdle and Omniseas as standout cards. Rumbling Rockslide's also great common, but I would always take Blood Curdle over it. I think if General Kudro of Dranith wasn't in this pack, I think I'd still take the Blood Curdle over Omniseas. Omniseas I would probably take over Rumbling Rockslide. This is a pretty powerful card if you can cast it pretty early, and just creating, if this card is definitely better in like the blue-red deck, spells deck, with plenty of cycling and card draw. Just being able to generate 8/8 Krakens every game is pretty nice. But overall, General Kudro would be my first pick here. I've never played General Kudro before, never drafted black-white humans, so it should be a fun archetype to dive into. I don't think we're splashing. I think we're going to try to force humans if we go this route. But overall, other than that, if I wanted to stay flexible and open, I would take the Blood Curdle, but the General is just too good to pass up. So hopefully we get past the black-white humans deck. And that deck has a bit of a sacrifice go white theme. What do we have here? I don't mind a Night Squad Commando with General Kudro. Just a nice, solid, efficient creature that whenever you tax, you can just generate another token right away. That way I haven't been too impressed by, but we can always take up one later. And just sometimes you can get lucky and take out a creature with 1 black, and that's quite efficient. Not as great in this set due to the fact that the red-white cycling deck tend to have a lot of 3 toughness 3 drops, so this doesn't answer them too efficiently, but overall it's fine. Best card in this pack is between like Migratory Greathorn and Primal Empathy, but given that we took a powerful mythic our first pack, pick one, I think we just want to lean towards that area. Primal Empathy is good, but it's not like broken or busted or anything that I want to take it here. So I think I'll take a Night Squad Commando, follow up with the General Kudro, and this should be pretty fun. I could just take another one. There's a Lurking Deadeye. The best 2 cards in this pack are like Savai Thundermane and Rumbling Rockslide, and I would take Savai over it. And again, I think we're just going to force the white-black humans deck. And in this case, what do I want? Do I want a Perimeter Sergeant, Lurking Deadeye, or Night Squad Commando? I still think it's a Night Squad Commando. I think in these decks, we just want to get as wide as possible and create 1/1 tokens to sacrifice with the 1 mana trick. I forgot the Mutual Destruction. Overall, other than that, Perimeter Sergeant is fine. 3 mana 3/2 isn't amazing, but sometimes you can go very wide, get a huge attack in, and buff all your humans, and that can be pretty nice. But I think I'll take another Night Squad Commando. I think this card is pretty good in the black-white humans deck. Checkpoint Officer is fine here. Just a nice 2-drop that can serve as a pseudo removal spell. I don't think we're splashing for the Farfinder, but this is always fine in case we do. But just stick with the humans theme. Take a Checkpoint Officer here. Nothing else here. Don't really want to play Unlikely 8 or Corpse Churn. There's a 1-mana Cycler in case we pick up like a Valiant Rescue or a Snare Tacticians. Hellclad Glider can be fine as well. Just as a 2-drop, 3-drop with flying. I think our 3-drops are stacked though with these Night Squad Commandos. I don't think we're. I think there's two themes in black white. Like there's the black white humans deck and the black white mutate deck, and I think Helica Glider fits better in the black white mutate deck, obviously since it's a non-creature. Don't think we care about non-creatures. I think we just want to go all out with humans. And in this case, what do we take? Think we just take the Go for Blood. Best card in this pack is like Wingspan Mentor and Essence Scatter. Could just take an unlikely 8, but the 1-mana cycler can come in handy in case we pick up Snare Tacticians or the if we're lucky enough to get a Valiant Rescuer. Could actually just main deck Unlikely A2. This seems like the type of deck for it, since we're looking to be quite aggressive, and just this being able to trade up sometimes and poke in for 2 can be decent. Yeah, we'll take the Unlikely 8. I mean, there's not too much cycling synergy in the white-black deck anyways. It's more like a sacrifice, go wide, aggro theme. So I'll take the Unlikely 8. Hopefully we can pick up like a charge. Ooh, General's Enforcer, so black-white humans is definitely open. This card is very good in the black-white humans deck. And it also gives General Kudro indestructible. Otherwise, Day Squad Marshal would be great, but General's Enforcer it is. Just a better card. I guess Lurking Deadeye. Not a big fan of Sonorous Howlbonder. I don't think Menace is what we're looking for. I think we're just trying to draft as many humans. Could use a good 4-drop. So I guess the Black-White Humans deck is a bit of a testament of knowing your mana curve and how to build it, and knowing the theme of it. From what it looks like it's going to go wide. It's looking to sacrifice with the 1/1 tokens, and it's looking to be quite aggressive. I think here it's the Blade Banish over Helica Glider. We have a couple of 3-drops already. We're not looking to really fly as a win condition. We could also take the Bloodfell Caves in case we need to splash, I don't know, like a Weaponize a monster. I mean, that's also possible, and Weaponize a monster is really good in the red-black-white humans deck, so maybe I just take it here. You can always pick up a Blade Banish later. Don't mind the Bloodfell Caves. There's a bit of red splash in these white-black humans deck, I think. That's a very late Omnises, but we're not taking it. Could just take a Windscarred Crag in case we end up splashing red again. Well, don't think we're playing any of this. I guess a Solid Footing, but again, we're not really a Vigilance theme deck. Could just take a main Serval or a Hate Draft, a Honey Mammoth. I mean, we'll take the main Serval. There's a chance we open up Snapdax and we can do a mix of humans and non-humans, but General Kudro, I think we just want to stick with humans. So overall, first pack seems pretty fun. Never drafted black-white humans before, but I'm pretty sure from looking at the set and the theme and the and what these humans do, I'm pretty sure I know what how to draft this archetype. But we'll see. You could actually main deck Light of Hope, since destroying enchantments can be fine, and sometimes you can trick the opponent by giving using a +1/+1 counter, but I think we're better off like this. So anything here, I guess a Blood Curdle makes sense. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind a Garrison Cat as a sacrifice creature. Pack 1, pick 1, it would be between like Pouncing Shore Shark and Blood Curdle, and both are pretty solid. I don't know, maybe slightly leaning towards Pouncing Shore Shark, but Blood Curdle is just solid removal. Pouncing Shore Shark is more conditional. You'd want a mutate target, but it's definitely a very powerful card. But I think the Blood Curdle here is just solid, efficient removal we can always use. There's a Chittering Harvester, but I could just take a Patagia Tiger. Usually I don't like the Zenith Flare card because it's so busted, and we're not really cycling. So I think we can just take a Patagia Tiger here. It makes sense. We could use a nice Curve Topper for this type of deck, and it can buff humans on the ground too. Otherwise, I think it would still be the Lurking Deadeye, or we can just take our third Night Squad Commando. And yeah, I don't really think we want to take any non-humans in the black-white humans deck. And again, like Chittering Harvester is better than like black-green or black-white mutate, but Patagia Tiger is solid. Could use a good Curve Topper in these black-white humans deck, and Tire Tactics, that's a nice payoff. So we're really doing it. I'm pretty happy. I've never drafted this deck again, but it should be really fun. Otherwise, I think the Lurking Deadeye is the choice, but Dark Tactics, ooh, a Valiant Rescuer. Is that better than a Checkpoint Officer? I don't know for how much we're cycling in this deck, but it can be pretty powerful. Like, if we combine, like, if we end up in, like, the black-white in this black-white deck, we can maybe put in these memory leaks and one-mass cyclers to start chaining off with this Valiant Rescuer. But overall, if that's our only cycling payoff, then it's not going to be super amazing. We would need like a combination of Snare Tacticians and Valiant Rescuers to make this work. So in this case, maybe the Checkpoint Officer is just better for us. I don't know how often we are going to cycle with this Valiant Rescuer. Maybe like once or twice, but I don't think that's still worth it. The Checkpoint Officer just gives us more extra utility and removal in case we need it. And a 2-mana 3/1 isn't all that amazing, and we don't seem to be a cycling deck. We're just looking to go wide, beat down, lock down the creatures. So I think the Checkpoint Officer makes sense, but in a vacuum, Valiant Rescuer, it would be the right pick. I think I'll take a Day Squad Marshal over the Checkpoint Officer. I think 2 should be decent for now. Could use some more beef at the top end, and generating a 1/1 token can be really nice. I guess there's a Snare Tactician. Again, we're not a cycling deck, but could use one. I don't put a huge emphasis and priority on it, but I'll take it here. Even like a 2/3 blocker can be decent, but we have Night Squad Commando for that. Ooh, happy to see Deadweight versus Coordinated Charge. Coordinated Charge can be pretty good in this deck. Do I take it over a Deadweight? Again, Deadweight hasn't been too impressive, but sometimes just using this early can be pretty decent. We could always just take up a Coordinated Charge later. Maybe the Deadweight is more important. It's just which is more important for this deck. Like, we can still win without using the Coordinated Charge by just like going wide, I guess. It does give us extra pump, but maybe the Deadweight is more important just as cheap removal. We have a lot of efficient removal, but just not cheap removal. Could take another Checkpoint Officer. Ooh, there's a Weaponize. Could maybe speculate on splashing that card. It's definitely very powerful in the white-black sacrifice deck. So, yeah, I think I'll take the Weaponize here, seeing this is late. It's definitely very good in the white-black humans deck. Now I can take a Garrison Cat. How good is Tentative Connection? We would have to splash for it, and then also use Weaponize, which is a bit of a stretch. So I think the Garrison Cat is fine. Now another Lurking at Deadeye looks good. Yeah, we're really doing it. Maybe we end up playing Spontaneous Flight. Don't think we're splashing for Lava Serpent. There's a Savai Crystal, but we're not looking to ramp in this deck. It could help us fix, but with 2 dual lands, I think we're fine for now. Maybe just take the Spontaneous Flight. Maybe take a Sleeper Dart. Could consider like the 2-mana Cyclers, but I'd rather have 1-mana Cyclers with the Snare Tactician. But it doesn't seem to be a huge emphasis in these black-white humans decks. Here, nothing. Wow, this pack is a whiff. The best card is like a Inspire Ultimatum. Pack 1, pick 1. Do you take it? I think I would take the Rumbling Rock Slide still to keep myself open, but I don't mind Blade Banish. I think this card's pretty good in the black-white humans deck, even though it's situational. Sometimes just being able to banish a card is nice. How good is Unbreakable Bond? We would need some giant, large creatures to cycle away. Could just take, I don't know, a Space Godzilla. It's still like a removal spell. Not a very exciting one. Maybe we just need more beef with these Day Squad Marshals. I don't hate them. With double Lurking Deadeye, I don't really want to put too much on these. Too much emphasis on this. I'm looking to really just go wide and beat down. So the Day Squad Marshal looks perfect here. And another General's Enforcer. Can't really pass this one up. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind a Night Squad Commando to replace the Snare Tactician, but General's Enforcer is really good. Another Checkpoint Officer. Perimeter Sergeant. Don't think we're cycling for the Draft Healer. Could take a dual land, but I don't think that's necessary. Night Squad Commando would be pretty nice. Getting rid of this Tactician. I already have 2 Day Squad Marshals. Our 3s are looking fine, though. Might just be a second Checkpoint Officer. I don't know. Maybe 3 is enough. I think we can just sell with 3 maybe then. It's quite pricey to use this tap effect. But overall, yeah, we could. I mean, overall, we do have like double Day Squad Marshal, double Night Squad Commando ready, and General's Enforcer to go wide. So I don't know if we need to emphasize on this too much. I mean, could just take another checkpoint, but 2 might just be enough again. I don't know. Don't think we need to prioritize this too much. I mean, it's the best card in this pack. Yeah, I think I'll take it then. Now, either way, I think a Bushmeat Poacher makes sense. It's a nice way to sacrifice 1/1 tokens. We're going to generate a bunch of them. We need to have some sacrifice synergy in these types of decks. Swallow Whole is perfect. Excellent removal spell. With the Checkpoint Officer, we can tap something down and exile it. Divine Arrow can be fine. How about Night Squad Commando, our third one? So how's our deck looking like? I think we're definitely going to try to splash red for the weaponize. I think it's too good to pass up. Could just cut the Unlikely Aid. Garrison Cat can be okay, but we don't really have too much sacrifice going on. And I'd rather just have a 1/1 human, so I think we can cut that. In terms of removal, we have the Deadweight, Swallow Whole, Blade Banish, Star Tactics, and Blood Curdle. So we're at like 21 cards. I wouldn't mind Divine Arrow. Like, I think maybe we have enough Night Squad Commandos, maybe. Like, one extra one wouldn't be fine, but maybe we could use an extra removal spell. Maybe we can main deck a Suffocating Fumes. Jubilant Skybonder isn't bad. Like, it gets buffed by the General Kudro. It's an okay 3-drop. I don't hate it. It's an extra flyer. Suffocating Fumes is better, like, against a mirror match. So Jubilant Skybonder can maybe help give us another extra win condition. Alright, I think the humans might have dried up now. No mutual destruction, so that's a bit of a disappointment, but happy to see another Day Squad Marshal. I guess I can take a Perimeter Sergeant now to diversify. Don't think there's a solid footing deck. Okay, seems like the right deck. Could use the charge here. So 2 cuts. Think I like the removal spells. Blade Banish can maybe go since it's more situational. And we have General Kudro already to deal with Power 4 greater, so I can see myself cutting it. Could just be a 16-land deck, to be honest, with 1 mountain for the weaponize. Weaponize is pretty good with these go wide synergies. Don't mind it. I could just cut a Perimeter Sergeant. Like, this card is pretty decent, but it's forced to kind of attack in order to get the pump going. Could cut the weaponize, but it's pretty good at General's Enforcer in the late game. And I think this might just be a 16-land deck since our curve doesn't look pretty high. It really ends around like 4. Could actually cut a Day Squad Marshal. It could get too clunky at the top end that we need to play something cheaper, so we can maybe add in the Garrison Cat as a sacrifice target. And okay, 1-drop we can play to kind of keep our curve consistent. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe Lurking Deadeye can count as removal. Maybe the Weaponize the monster can count as removal. Like, the cat's pretty decent as a good chump blocker. I think with enough Day Squad Marshals, we don't need to care about. I could also just cut the Perimeter Sergeant for a Day Squad Marshal. I don't value this card too highly. Is an okay 3-drop, but maybe Day Squad Marshal's better. We just want more sacrifice synergy with the Bushmeat Poacher and weaponize the monster sometimes. And then just having as many humans as possible is really nice with General Kudro. So I think 1 Perimeter Sergeant is okay, and then we can just go something like this. And with enough removal, we don't need to play something like Blade Banish. General Kudro can function as removal. And with Weaponize the monster being splashed, I think we want to go 3 red sources. And then slightly favoring white, so 6, 7. So maybe we go something like this. Like 7 black sources, 3 red sources, 8 white sources in a 16-land deck. I think I can settle for this. I don't want to, however, get mana screwed, so maybe I do cut this Day Squad Marshal for another Perimeter Sergeant. Because I can see situations happening where I get stuck with lands and I can't cast my 4-drop. And sometimes just attacking with this and just getting in there with all can lead to some nice victories. So, 1, 2, 3 big removal spells, 2 small removal spells with Weaponize as a splash. This can generate tokens, this can generate token when it dies, disgenerate tokens automatically. Yeah, I think we'll try this. We'll see. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. Never drafted this before. Could have used a coordinated charge, but the dead weight was pretty decent as well. Could have used a Sanctuary Lockdown for this deck as well. Maybe a Pacifism. Some another Patagia Tiger would have been great as a Flying Wind condition that can pump our humans. But obviously we're just looking to be very aggressive and beat down with that type of deck. I guess the Garrison Cat isn't all that amazing since it's still a cat. It's not a human that can get pumped. But again, with some sacrifice synergies, it's good sacrifice synergy with Bushman Poacher and Weaponize the monster. Alright, first time playing drafting black-white humans. Should be pretty fun. Wish we had mutual destruction. Okay, guess once we cast our third land, we can get down General Kudro. We can play defense early. I think it's okay keeping. We're also on the draw. So 16 lands, we might have problems with these 4-drops, just clogging up the early game. So maybe it's correct to cut a Day Squad Marshal, I don't know. Dranev Stinger, I'm definitely going to Divine Arrow if he attacks. But there's a dual land, maybe just cast a dual land. Divine Arrow later. We do want to play our tap lands to ensure that we hit our General Kudro of Dranev. Well, of course, maybe I don't play this yet. I could save it as a surprise. I could Divine Arrow this Dranev Stinger next turn, and maybe develop a Day Squad Marshal for the opponent to use like Pyrophobia card. The Fire Prophecy, my bad. But he is tapping out. So, yeah, I think I'll play the General Kudro. Also exiles a cycling card, but he could just remove it now. That's unfortunate. He is hovering over it. Probably has like a Pyrophobia, whatever, the 3-mana removal spell at instant speed that allows him to dig. Or he could have Rumbling Rock Slide, but okay, that's a better target for Divine Arrow. At least General Kudro can keep the cards at bay. Could just develop the Day Squad Marshal. I think I'll do it. I could still take 4, it's okay, and I can even just Swallow Whole on this. I can afford to take 4. I mean, I guess I can sacrifice some tokens to kill this. So I could play my second Day Squad Marshal and kill off the Ferocious Tigerilla. I think I'm fine taking it here. Not going to double block since he's obviously going to trade for this Day Squad Marshal. Opponent's going to try to ping me here. Sure. Could move to attacks. Yeah, maybe I use a Divine Arrow or Swallow Whole here. Swallow Whole is just so efficient. But the Day Squad Marshal, the 2 tokens being able to exile the Ferocious Tigerilla can be pretty powerful. Maybe I just take 4 again and swing all out next turn. I could just take 4, like, I'm nowhere near in lethal range with the Zenith Flare if he has one. Okay, now, oh man, I could have, what's going on? I need to pay 2 mana, I forgot, in order to deal with this. Guess I can take another 4 with the Ferocious Tigerilla, use Swallow Hole to exile it, and then start getting through. Also a Divine Arrow up. I think I'll use the Swallow Hole. The question is, where do I put it on? I think I'm fine putting it on a 1/1 token and just swing out with my 3-drops. If he double blocks, I'm going to use a Divine Arrow. Let's just swing out. Yeah, I think we'll just swing out with these 3. Double blocking, I guess I'll just Divine Arrow here. I guess I could flash into Lurking Deadeye. Opponent might want to just take it here, I guess. We'll just pass. I could just flash in Lurking Deadeye, double block, flash in Lurking Deadeye, and kill. I think it's better to just Divine Arrow this Tigerilla and double block the Dranith Stinger, I think. Get that out of the way. Don't really need to... Double blocking is okay. I don't think these 1/1s matter. I forgot you need to pay 2 mana with the General Kudro to get rid of the 4/4. So it definitely takes a while. Doesn't have enough to kill me with Xenoflare. That's a good one. Might be forced to chump block against it. Does Pataga Tiger do anything? Not really. Could just cast a weaponize the monster, block and sack. I don't hate that plan. We'll just say go. Then we can use Swallow Hole next turn. Snare, tap, petition, okay. Could play the Tiger and then use the Swallow Hole. Might just do that, I don't hate it. Get in there for 5. I think I need to kind of race the opponent here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cycling cards, so I think I can take 2, and then I guess I can maybe ambush him with the Lurking Deadeye next turn. Could cast the Checkpoint Officer, don't hate it. Guess if he takes it here, I can just use a Checkpoint Officer, sack it, and kill him. So opponent is forced to chump, which I'm happy about. How many cyclers in the graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he could kill me. I mean, not really. If he Xenoflares me, he's going to take me down too. I could just flash in Lurking Deadeye and block it. I think that might be the better play. We'll see. Yeah, we'll flash in the Deadeye. I think it's enough better that we just do it here. And we can use a Checkpoint Officer to also just tap whatever he plays next and get in for lethal. Wondering why he didn't cycle before blocks. But yeah, that's pretty fun. General Kudro and doing a lot of work. And the weaponize the monster is definitely perfect for this type of deck. But again, I do need to be careful with too many 4-drops, now that I think about it. Since that game, I could have been basically mana screwed. In that case, what do I want to put? I guess our deck is still fine. We don't really want a 4-drop. We'll just keep it as it is. Right, Perimeter Sergeant on 3. We're not going to cast our Weaponize. We're on a draw. I mean, I think we still keep. We have some good defense. The Swallow Hole can be pretty nice with this Perimeter Sergeant growing it. And Swallow Hole is a very excellent card since it enhances our creature and the opponent doesn't really suspect it. Alright, Omniseas. Well, I guess I can Dire Tactics and kill it eventually. Nice 2-drop. Ooh, that's a good one. I guess I just exile. Please no hexproof. Yeah, we need to get rid of it now. I'm not going to spend my time debating over whether or not I should. He could grow vigilance, so I think we need to get rid of it. It's just a huge bomb if it goes unanswered. Charge, okay. That's a lot of mana, but that's okay. We still have a Swallow Hole to deal with an 8/8 at least. Tap land is land nonetheless. Cast it. If Perimeter Sergeant doesn't go answered, I guess I can attack for a ton with the Day Squad Marshal in play as well. Reconnaissance mission. Okay, is the opponent looking to play flyers here? But I am developing a board with lots of humans, and this Perimeter Sergeant is going to be a nuisance for him to deal with. Next turn we could just attack with all. Fertilid is okay. I don't. Yeah, I guess I just use a Weaponize a monster, sack it, and kill the Fertilid. I think that's better. I think we just do that. And then we can get in there for like 7. This is nice, also prevents the lands from being drawn. Opponent has a while to get to the Kraken, so I'm okay with this. And eventually I can attack with ball and then use Lurking Deadeye to finish. Next turn I guess we attack and he blocks, and then we can he has 1 card. He could cycle an ambush, but I still think I go for it since I can essentially use Splash and a Lurking Deadeye at instant speed, so I guess the opponent's just gonna chump here, sure. That's good, so now I can just cast the Night Squad Commando and have extra fodder with the Weaponize the monster. Now the opponent can also ambush at instant speed. I can also just activate the Weaponize the monster with whatever he blocks. Okay, well yeah, this deck is very fun. The Weaponize does make sense in this deck. I'm glad that I picked that up and read into it. Would have loved Mutual Destruction in this deck again, but we have decent amount of removal. Okay, no 2-drops. We do have a tap land. We're on a draw. I think I still risk it here. I can always use a Divine Arrow on defense if I need to, or Deadweight, and we get our 3rd land. That's fine. Do I play the Night Squad Commando without token? I think we still do, just to have a body in play. Ooh, but the Checkpoint Officer was a nice pickup, so happy that I tech these into the deck, since now I can also attack and make a 1/1 with the Night Squad Commando. Memory leak, okay. The opponent knows we're playing black-white humans. Probably going to take away, like, I don't know, dead weights. None of these are really too important, so thank God he's memory leaking me now. Because I do want to eventually just get General Kudro. And I don't want to, like, snipe my General Kudro, so... Opponent doesn't really have any great choices. I don't think any of these cards are super amazing. I guess he just wants to slow me down by getting rid of a Night Squad Commando, but that's fine. We'll just play one this turn. Then we can develop the Day Squad Marshal next turn. I like how the white-black deck is so grindy, and I could just attack here, and then he knows we have a Divine Arrow. I think I'm fine doing it. I do need to use Divine Arrow eventually, and this is a good target. Opponent probably knows about it. I mean, he knows about it, but I'm happy firing it off. So we'll just use it now, get this out of the way. Think I'm fine playing out land. There's a chance I could top deck a land. I wanted to use Day Squad Marshal and Deadweight at the same turn. Opponent doesn't know about General yet. And the Divine Arrow was pretty nice, just dealing with this 3-3 that was going to be a bit of a nuisance. Opponent seems to be in Sultai, splashing blue for like Primal Empathy, but he milled his islands. Essence Symbiote, I think I'll just use a Deadweight on it and develop Kudro this turn. And we'll just develop Kudro here. Should be pretty fun. And we will exile the Greater Sandworm so he can't retrieve it back with the Back for More. So this deck looks pretty fun. Jeez, having a great time. I can start tapping stuff down, attacking for a bunch. I might just use a Checkpoint Officer just to tap, and then play out the General's Enforcer. I think that's the correct play. I could also just activate the General, but I think it's better to just develop the General's Enforcer. Wow, I think, yeah, this deck is really good. I like the synergies. General Kudro first pick. Orzhov Humans, never drafted it before. I'm having a blast. Currently 3-0. So let's keep this train up. Alright, well, we have a 1-drop, a 2-drop. Can't say no to that, and we can even go wide with the Night Squad Commandos. I don't actually mind the Garrison Cat since it can actually attack, and even if they block it, it makes a human. So I can kind of trigger the Night Squad Commando here. Bonder's Enclave, okay. Well, deadweights, but I guess we can attack, develop our Night Squad Commando. Even Jubilant Skybonder isn't bad, but I think the Night Squad Commando, we just want to get it in play now because it has value. I can even just start casting a Jubilant Skybonder next turn if he puts up a big blocker and start getting in there. We'll definitely attack. He could be holding up an Essence Scatter, I guess, so we might want to start with the Perimeter Sergeant instead. Lurking Deadeye, that's a good one. Okay. He doesn't block, so oops, that was a bit of a misplay. Opponent forgot to block with the Lurking Deadeye. He could have flashed it in, ambushed my 1-1. I think I'm fine trading the Night Squad Commando for it, just to pressure the opponent. He might just use a deadweight on this Jubilant Skybonder. Okay, opponent loves deadweights. Seems to make sense. I think I'll just attack with a Night Squad Commando, offer to trade. develop my 2-drops here. I'm actually fine with this trade. Okay, let's leave a checkpoint officer, see if he counters it. He doesn't, so he might not have it, so I guess I'm just going to cast General's Enforcer, start exiling from my graveyard, making 1/1s. Mystics of Duel, okay, at least as a blocker I can use. I can start tapping down the giant blockers and start getting in there with all my creatures. Of course, you could just have another removal spell. Well, that's a good one. Blitz Leech is really good. Bushmeat Poacher. I don't mind a Bushmeat Poacher. I think I'm just going to cast it now. Keep the 2-3 behind on defense. Maybe trade for the Blitz Leech, and then we can start using the Bushmeat Poacher to sack the General's Enforcers and get value out of them. He might mutate here. I mean, sure, I don't really care if he does. Could even use like the Bonder's Enclave end of turn. I guess he's just going to use the main phase to draw. Frostlinks, okay, that's a bit annoying. He's tapping down the Bushmeat Poacher, which I don't want him to do. Guess I can trade here, I don't mind it. I don't really want to take 4. Ooh, I can just play another General's Enforcer. Like, it's pretty fun just making 1/1s with this. And if I have 1 mana next turn, I can also use the Bushmeat Poacher at instant speed. So this is pretty fun. I can also just double block this Blitz Leech, to be honest. Mess with his graveyard, essentially. This Bonder's Enclave is actually pretty good for him as well. Maybe I should play the Perimeter Sergeant, I don't know. We'll see. Checkpoint Officer isn't bad. We'll just use 1 mana, sack our useless General's Enforcer here, draw some cards. Swallow Hole, that's a good one. I think I'll just cast a Perimeter Sergeant this turn. And then we can go all out next turn with these 1/1s and the Perimeter Sergeant. I'm fine if he wants to trade for the 5/2. He's just getting value with this Bonder's Enclave every turn, so that is kind of annoying. But he is also tapping out a bunch of times, so... Bushmeat Poacher, okay. That's a good blocker for the Perimeter Sergeant. So I'm not out of the woodworks yet. I could use a good flyer. Omniseas I can always deal with. So now what? Can't really tap anything. I can start exiling his graveyard, but that's just going to make 1/1s. Could just develop everything here. Just play my 3-drop and my 2-drop. Start tapping down maybe the Bushmeat Poacher and getting a huge attack in. Like, this is nice, just tapping maybe the Bushmeat Poacher using Swallow Hole to enhance my other creatures and just get in for a ton of damage. I guess I can make these into 4/4s. I don't know here. I'm probably just going to get rid of this Bushmeat Poacher next turn and use... Okay, that's a good one. Pretty annoying. Okay. So I think we use a Checkpoint Officer. I think we might actually just tap the Blitz Leech, since it has a lot of power. It can trade up, and we can just, I guess, attack with all. I think I'm fine attacking with all, since I can still activate the General's Enforcer. We just want to get as much damage in as possible. Everything's going to become a 4-power creature this turn. So this is a lot of damage. The opponent is kind of like forced to trade, in a sense. Okay, I think I'm fine with this. Hopefully he sacks his Blitz Leech. He's probably just gonna activate the Bonder's Enclave end of turn for card advantage. He's just going for this play, okay. I can always make more 1/1 tokens. Okay, I guess it's the same result. He might have a trick here. We'll see. Alright, we'll just let damage happen. We'll see what happens here. Does he have a removal spell? He might. But this is a lot. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is 12 damage. So, yeah, I guess the opponent's blocking as best as he can. But we just got lethal. So yeah, this deck is definitely overperforming. Garrison Cat is still questionable. I should have sacked it that last this game to just make a 1/1 token. But it's still a 1-drop. It can chump block. It can attack and trigger for the Night Squad Commandos. But yeah, overall, still pretty fun deck. Triple black, I mean, with a weaponize. I guess a single planes and we're good. I mean, we are on the play. I do need red for weaponize. Maybe this is still a mulligan. Yeah, this is a little bit better. I think I can settle for this. Do we bottom? I do like the Jubilant Skybound. Maybe just bottom the Lurking Deadeye. And we can just kind of curve out like this. I do like the Jubilant Skybounder start pressuring the opponent. So, I mean, we do need double planes, but it's still very good just to have a way to sneak some damage across. Could be playing the black-red sacrifice deck versus white-black humans. Here, I guess we could just cast the perimeter. Actually, I should play the Skybinder. Never mind. I could start chipping damage away, but I wasn't thinking. So I missed out on 2 damage pretty early here. Marmosets, okay. I hate how this 2/2 holds back this 3/2. General Kudro is really good though. Maybe I just surprise him. Let's cast our Jubilant Skybinder first. Next turn, when we get land, we can play General Kudro and the Enforcer. I hope he attacks with his Prickly Marmoset. This implies something. I'm definitely not blocking. I'm fine if he wants to cycle and do some damage. Pyroceratops, okay. Alright, so this is looking great. I guess now we can cast the General Kudro. Let's tap efficiently here. Let's play the General's Enforcer. Play the Kudro. And let's just smashing. Yeah, this is a lot of damage. Jeez, opponent did not expect this, I guess. This just got him out of nowhere. Wow. So he has a couple of threats he needs to take care of. He needs to take care of Kudro. He needs to take care of the General's Enforcer and the Flyer. Sometimes, I guess Perimeter Sergeant isn't high upon his list since he can easily block it. But the Skybonder is going to start connecting for more every turn. I don't know if the opponent thinks he can outrace me. I do have a checkpoint officer that can start tapping down his big blockers and get in for a ton. But this turn definitely was explosive. Should have played the Skybonder earlier just to get the extra point of damage. He should be at 7 life if it wasn't for this weird play with the Perimeter Sergeant. Probably going to give this Death Touch, okay. Forbidden Friendship, sure. I can still block off all these creatures. Do I attack? If I attack with all, what happens? Probably going to use Death Touch on this Boot Nipper. Could tap the Boot Nipper down. I can always tap on his turn. I don't know if we need to use it right away. Maybe just get in there for 3. Yeah, 3 in the air is fine. We can always main phase the checkpoint officer. And I can always tap in the turn. I think I'm fine taking 3. It's not the end of the world. We'll just let damage happen. We don't really care. I think we're so far ahead we don't need to worry about anything, so... If he wants to cycle a million times and tap out, that's fine. I think it should be lethal, since I can tap it a creature end of turn, and also tap on my mate phase and get in for a ton. Sure, I guess I can tap down the Lurking Deadeye. Now, what if I tap down the Boot Nipper? He's forced to chump. I think it's lethal, so if I tap down the Boot Nipper, that should be game over. And everything's gonna get pumped here. Wow, just concedes. Yeah, this deck is definitely very good. Wow, quite impressive. Currently 5-0. And never drafted black-white humans. I've drafted black-white Orzhov Mutate with the Snapdax before, the Vopakeets, and the, I forgot the black-white uncommon, the cat, but never drafted pure humans, and it's definitely very good with the Kudro. Okay, I guess the software recognized how broken my deck is, so they are delaying everything. But yeah, definitely double checkpoint officer is very good. The night squad commandos, day squad marshals, doing where pruner sergeant is actually pretty decent too. Even though I don't like 3-mana 3/2s, it sometimes get a huge attack in and pump. I would love the coordinated charge in this deck as well. I can't really complain. 5-0, I think we have a high chance of getting there. Alright, starting hand. I like the Garrison Cats. We do need red for the weaponize, so this is going to be a dead card, but we're on the draw. I think we still keep this hand, and hopefully we can kind of curve out and get there. Opponent's playing red. Okay. Luckily he doesn't play weaponize. Okay, 4-drop is nice. Hopefully we can find our red splash for the weaponize soon so we can start pinging off his creatures or dealing face damage. Red-white cycling, sure. Drenif Stinger. Oh, Divine Arrow is nice. Could just attack. I'll attack anyways. Just to use Divine Arrow. Yeah, we'll just use it now. Because I don't think I'm going to use Divine Arrow next turn. I think I'm planning to just play out the Night Squad Commando. Don't mind attacking here. Don't think I'm going to use Dire Tactics. I'm just going to attack to make a 1/1. He can block it, sure. I still get a human. I'd rather have the human. Now we have a nice removal spell with Dire Tactics. Not going to block here. He could cycle a million times, but that's fine. We can just attack back for 4 next turn. Snare Tactician. That might need to be killed. That's quite an annoying card. I think we just kill it here. I think it's a lot more annoying than a Prickly Marmoset. I'm fine getting 4 here. Another Snare Tactician. Wow, I hate this card so much. Why do you have to print such a card, Watsy? Guess I can just attack, and if he blocks, I can use Lurking Deadeye. I think I'll just do that. Because we do need to kill this card, and it's really annoying with the tap effects. We just want to ruin the opponent's momentum, get rid of all of his cyclers. Another Snare Tactician? Wow, okay. Now you're asking for it. Guess I play out the Day Squad Marshal, maybe make up some more one-man chump blockers, then we can pass. Next turn, maybe Pataga Tiger can pump this Day Squad Marshal to get him for 5. Checkpoint Officer can be fine. Maybe just play the Skybonder. Could just attack him for 3 and offer to trade. Could have a one-man Cycler, so I think I'll just play out the Jubilant Skybonder here. Start clocking him for 2 in the air. I can also play the Pataga Tiger to enhance this as well, to start getting in there. I don't think he has enough time to tap everything. I guess we just play our 2 drops. Opponent could be holding up instant speed interaction here. Guess he's just gonna blow up my Jubilant Skybonder. We'll see. Just play out the Checkpoint Officer. I think we have enough defense on the ground that I'm fine swinging out with a Jubilant Skybonder. I can even start using the Checkpoint Officer to start tapping down the Spell Eater Wolverine. Perimeter Sergeant isn't bad. Let's also just use the Checkpoint Officer to tap. I think we'll play out the Perimeter Sergeant, play it slow. I don't think this is a game where we're trying to just deal 2 damage in the air all day. Land would be nice to pump the Jubilant Skybonder to get a huge attack in. I think I will just play it now. I could just attack with Fall. Will it be a disaster if I attack with Fall? That's a good question. Maybe it's not a disaster. We'll just attack him for 4. We can always get in there later. Does he have a trick? He could have a trick here, maybe like a Divine Arrow. Shred Sails, okay. I guess that would have been used on my Pataga Tiger instead. But lucky us. Maybe I just swing all out. It's quite possible that's a correct play. Or I can just use Checkpoint Officer tap. Let's say if I swing all out, what happens? This isn't. I highly doubt this is gonna get double strike. I guess he can first strike away my Lurking Deadeye, trade here, block here, trade here. But that is quite a number. That's quite a lot of damage. Do I go for it? We'll just attack him for 3, I think. Again, keep it slow. Opponent might not have Cyclers since he hasn't been using his Snare Tacticians. Could just be flooding out here. Opponent's also just trying to race. Okay, I think we go for it. Yeah, let's go for it. We're not cowards. Opponent's just forcing these awkward blocking situations. Wow, he just concedes. I guess everyone's just conceding here. Jeez. Wow, this deck is really good. So yeah, 6-0. Haven't had any 7-0s in a while, especially not in this format. but this might just be it. So, overview of this deck. 1/5 drop, 13, 14, 16 lands is good with a Blood Curdle. I like these 4 drops. The Lurking Deadeye is really nice. Bushmeat Poacher, double Perimeter Sergeant, double Night Squad Commando, triple Checkpoint Officer is not bad. Yeah, this is a really fun deck. Still not out of the woodworks yet. We still have one more game to go. I think the weaponize fits this deck quite nicely, and this is basically essentially the curve that we're looking at. Let's put the lands here, actually. Blade Banish would have worked too. Yeah, let's just keep this, and let's see if we get our 7-0. This deck is just insane. Like, there's just so much value from the generals and enforcers. The perimeter sergeants are pumping us. We're really going wide. We have a bunch of chump blockers on the ground. A decent number of flyers, a good number of removal spells. I think this deck is like, yeah, the best I've drafted for this Lair of Behemoths set. I guess there's a red-white cycling decks, of course, but you know, they're nothing special. Just don't draft black-white too often unless you have a General Kudro, and in this scenario we do. But we could have used a little bit more sacrifice synergies, like maybe a Mutual Destruction would have been pretty good in this deck as well. And the final boss has to be like red-white cycling with a Xenoflare, I'm assuming. Guess we have to wait till the 2-minute mark since no one wants to do these bot drafts. Never mind. Okay, let's get started. Let's focus on this, and we can maybe hit Mythic near the end of the month. Double Checkpoint Officer, no black, we're on the play. Like, maybe we can use the Checkpoint Officers to buy time to get our black mana. I'll try it. We're on the play, I don't really want to go down a land. And we have 2 2-drops to curve out into, so... It'll be a bit of a nightmare if we can't get our black mana, but we are running kind of like, I guess, 8 black sources still in this deck. Or 7, I forgot. Alright. Was gonna emote the opponent, but he woke up. Okay, let's get our black mana eventually. Otherwise, I guess I can start activating the checkpoint officers to buy time. I hope we kill one of these checkpoint officers. I don't really value them too highly. The red mana for the fixing, okay. I guess we can play the red mana to kind of bait him into thinking we're a cycling deck. With 2 checkpoint officers, while he doesn't know we have black mana instead. So black mana would be pretty nice. I can tap something down, play the General's Enforcer. Spell Eater Wolverine, that's a good one. Guess I can still cast my Day Squad Marshal here. Blue-red cycling, okay. Do we trade here? Like, I don't mind like double blocking, I guess. Okay, more white mana. I think I'm fine just using the checkpoint officer to tap the Wolverine. And then we can use the second one next turn. I mean on his turn. So blue-red spells with cycling, that's pretty interesting. I think I might tap the Wolverine because it's much more scarier if you can cycle twice and give it double strike. So I think that's much more preferable. Blue-red spells is littering with all these spell shenanigans, so I think I do it just to prevent 6 damage to my face. And I'm fine maybe taking 3 or 2 or 4 from the Pyroceratops instead. Yeah, we'll just use it now. I think the Wolverine is a lot more scarier than the Pyroceratops. And I can happily take 4 if he has 2 spells to cast. Or I can just tap it down and attack for 4. If I pick a black mana, I can also develop the Enforcer. I can still tap it down. We'll tap it down here. And I guess we can attack with all maybe, and then develop the Perimeter Sergeant. We'll attack in with all. Or I can keep a 1-1 back. Maybe the 1-1 back to block the 3-2 is nice. We'll attack with both of these, I guess. Don't think there's a flash shenanigans in blue and red that I need to care too much about. Okay, Flame Spill. And I'm definitely chumping with the 1-1, I think. Since it's not going to do much except chump anyways in the future. This is Utter Humans, so it can't pump itself, so that's a bit of an issue. But we can definitely get in for some huge clean attacks. Once we tap this Pyroceratops down. A Thieving Otter, okay. Opponent might not attack here. He's going to stay behind and play defense, okay. I guess Tiger isn't bad. Which one do I pump? Could offer just a Perimeter Sergeant anyway, since the toughness levels are low. So we'll just get him for 5 maybe. Offer to trade. The 1-1 can chump block the Spell Eater Wolverine. We can take 4, hold off the Thieving Otter. I do want to start closing out this game, so I don't mind trading this. Well, this is a nice trade. Okay, that's pretty decent. Just getting rid of this Double Striker, so I don't need to be afraid of chumping here. Rumbling Rock Slide, okay. God takes 5 here from this Pyroceratops. Not going to chump here since it has Trample. I don't think that's relevant. We can start tapping it down with this Checkpoint Officers, or he might have Pyrophobia here. Blitz instead, okay. Well, this is not looking good. We're just going to get hit with 6 damage every turn. But the opponent doesn't seem to be attacking. He's just going to play it safe. We'll stay back. Missing the black mana really hurts, because if with the black mana we could eventually like ambush with like a block and the Lurking Deadeye. But now the opponent's just going to draw cards with this Dreamtail Heron. So quite unfortunate that I haven't drew a Swamp yet. Opponent should have been attacking with this Pyroceratops, I think. But I guess he just wants to keep it safe here. Well, that's a tapped land, but it's a land, so I guess I play it. We might just lose here since the opponent's just going to generate too much card advantage. So, yeah. So the game plan is, I guess, Dire Tactics on the 6-7. And maybe just kind of kill the opponent. Or attack with all, use the Lurking Deadeye to kill the Pyroceratops. Or maybe we have to save the Dire Tactics for the Dreamtail Heron, because that's just going to keep drawing him cards. Omniseas, okay, this is scary. He can start using Omniseas to... he's going to draw cards, an extra card of Heron every turn, so that's going to generate for the Omniseas. Okay, not looking great. Another Swamp off the top would be pretty nice, since I can also Dire Tactics and use a Lurking Deadeye at the same turn. Could be holding up Counterspell, of course. Gust of Wind, okay. Don't care about Gust of Wind. Opponent is leveraging a lot of card advantage, so we're not in the best situation. And a Thieving Otter is pretty annoying. Guess we can just play out the dual land. We'll see what the opponent does. If he attacks, I'm going to flash in the Lurking Deadeye. If not, I'm just going to use Dire Tactics at instant speed. We'll see. Hopefully he doesn't counter it. I guess Convolute can counter it, but I do have 4 mana. That's a card. Okay. I guess that's a better card for me to exile than the Dreamtail Heron, because it's going to draw a card anyways, so... A Keep Safe. I mean, at this point, he probably has a Keep Safe in his deck. But at least it's exile 2-for-1s him, and he can't get back his Destroya. Is there any way I can deal with this? I guess a Swallow Hole against a Dreamtail Heron, and maybe like an all-out attack with Lurking Deadeye can be pretty nice. Opponent might just be growing this big enough, so he can trample all over us. I mean, it's definitely valid. Another Lurking Deadeye. Guess I can still swing in a Garrison Cat. Because I don't want to take too much trample damage. Maybe I'm forced to just stay back at the end of the day. I don't think this game is winnable unless we deal with both of these creatures. Guess he has a Rock Slide. This deck is really good. Yeah, this deck is really solid. Not gonna lie. Yeah, it's game over. If he blitz away my 3/3, yeah, I'm not gonna... I guess he can draw... He's playing to draw cards, but I'm not gonna win from here. He's just gonna make an 8/8. Okay, first loss against a really good red-blue spells deck, so don't mind that. Obviously, the final boss has to be the hardest. I don't think there was any outs in that game. Maybe if I got black mana earlier, that would have been better. And yeah, I think we're still staying 16 lands with 8 white sources, since we're mostly favoring white. So could just kind of mountain. Like, it's not often that we draw the weaponize, but I think we're still fine. I mean, we went through 7 games with this, so 6 games. So I mean 7 total. So we should be decent. It was just that last game we didn't get our mana situation sorted out. But hopefully in this one we don't keep a bad hand like the last one. Right, this is good. Some black and white mana. Ooh, okay. I guess we'll play a dual land instead. That's nice. Just having the dual lands pretty early can fix our mana, and then now we can cast our weaponize. We can cast everything now, as long as we get our mana going. Do I care about deadweight here? I think I do, since there's not really any other good targets, so I think I'll just use it now. Next turn, play the Perimeter Sergeant. Did he miss his land drop? Okay, gets a land drop. Garrison Cat. Ooh, actually Garrison Cat and the Checkpoint Officer is pretty good. I'd rather do that instead since we have multiple attackers, or I can just attack with a Garrison Cat. And I do want value with this Night Squad Commando, so this is looking fine. Snare Tactician, okay. Could just play the Bushmeat Poacher. Maybe Poacher's better. We can always attack next turn. And then develop the Night Squad Commandos. We can even sack the Garrison Cat if he decides to block it. Draw a card with the Bushmeat Poacher, and then cast the Night Squad Commando. So that's a really nice combo. And we want to generate as much value as possible in these matchups. Opponent's just cycling here. He hasn't played any Prickly Marmosets or creatures, so I'm quite happy about that. He might just play it this turn. Blitz, okay, I guess he wanted to take out the Bushmeat Poacher. Fair enough. Don't think we're tapping here like we could. Could just Dire Tactics. Could just attack for 1, then use Night Squad Commando to tap down the... Checkpoint Officer to tap down the Snare Tactician. To save some HP, I guess, against the cycling deck. We'll just tap the Snare Tactician down this turn. We'll just cast Perimeter Sergeant. I guess just find the Dire Tactics now, then we can just get in there for a huge chunk of damage. And then I can just tap down the Snare Tactician and get a huge attack in with the Perimeter Sergeant. Cathartic Reunion, okay, the opponent's just digging. Opponent has a pretty decent red-white cycling deck, but doesn't seem to have too many creatures. So this is nice. I can use the Checkpoint Officer. Ooh, Blood Curdle could be better. Giving this Menace, yeah, that's actually pretty good. So we'll Blood Curdle the Snare Tactician here. You could just tap, that's fine. And I guess I will just give the Perimeter Sergeant Menace, since that's really good with it. So now if I give this Menace, I can now attack with... I guess I can just pay... I don't mind tapping this Draft Stinger. I want to get in for 4. Don't really want to play it safe here. These removal spells are definitely doing a lot of work. Now I can use a Checkpoint Officer, tap the Prickly Marmoset. I think I'm fine attacking a ball. If he wants to trade for the Garrison Cat, that's fine. It's extra point of damage. And it makes a human anyways. This Menace is really nice. So Checkpoint Officer definitely doing a lot of work. Just tapping his stuff down. Wow, okay, yeah, black-white humans, Orzhov humans. First time drafting it, went 7-1. Close to 7-0, but we faced a really powerful blue-red Izzet deck. But I'm happy that this worked out. So I'm definitely going to record this into my my 7 wins decks. So we'll just capture it here. I guess we can add another copy. I don't know if I added it yet, and then we'll claim our prize. Yeah, let's go to prize. It glitched out, so it didn't show the gems. Pack 1, pick 1, Lutri. Even though the companions got nerfed, I don't mind main decking Lutri anyways. It's still a fine card, like, I don't know, turn 7 or turn 5, you can, flash this in to copy a Burning Fire Prophecy. But yeah, the companion nerf hit this pretty hard. I don't really want to pay 6 mana just for a 3/2 flash. But overall, I think it was the best out of all the other cards there. Here, I'm a big fan of Unbreakable Bond, Yorion, and Lord Dracus. Unbreakable Bond is for the black-green Reanimator deck, and is definitely one of those necessary components if you want to function. Probably just the pick is Yorion. It's just good in white, good in blue. It's a nice evasive flyer, good win condition in the late game, and then just being able to blink cards like, I don't know, Farfinders to get extra lands, reblink creatures that just attacked to serve as blockers is really powerful. Lordrakus is also really good in the blue-red spells deck. But overall, yeah, pretty nice draft. It went 7-1. We didn't draft a cycling deck, so pretty happy to have this recorded. And of course, at 2021 spoil reveals are around the corner, so that should be pretty fun. Might just do more drafts maybe later in a couple of days and record them before this draft set ends. And in the meantime, don't have too much xenophobia. That's what they call it, since Xenoflare is so broken. Draft the set for what it is. Don't expect yourself to win every pod, since, I mean, that card just ruins games. So, yeah, had a fun time, and hope you guys have a nice day, and take care.